The backyard was silent except for the crunch of Karen's sneakers on Lily's flower bed. Under the moon's pale glow, Lily stood at her back door, her heart pounding like a drum. In her hands was a garden hose, its nozzle aimed straight at Karen, who was smugly picking roses from Lily's prized garden. "You've gone too far, Karen," Lily shouted, her voice shaking with rage. Karen froze, her eyes wide, clutching a fistful of petals. Before she could speak, Lily twisted the nozzle. A blast of icy water shot out, hitting Karen square in the chest. Karen shrieked, stumbling backward, her fancy jacket soaked. "You'll regret this, Lily," she screamed, slipping in the mud. Lily's eyes blazed, her hands trembling, but she didn't stop. She sprayed again, harder this time, as Karen scrambled to escape. The roses fell, crushed under Karen's feet. Then, from the shadows, a strange, noisy, low, eerie hum made them both freeze. Something was watching. But what? Lily was a quiet woman who loved her small house and its cozy backyard. She wasn't rich or fancy, just a simple gardener who found joy in her roses and sunflowers. Her backyard was her sanctuary, a place where she could escape the noise of the world. Every morning, she'd sip tea on her porch, smiling at the blooms she'd nurtured for years. But then Karen moved in next door, and everything changed. Karen was loud, bossy, and acted like she owned the whole neighborhood. At first, it was small things. Karen's dog digging up Lily's tulips, or Karen tossing trash over the fence. Lily tried to be nice. She knocked on Karen's door, offering cookies and asking politely for her to stop. Karen just laughed. "It's just a backyard, Lily. Relax," she'd say, rolling her eyes. But it wasn't just a backyard to Lily, it was her heart. Things got worse. Karen started cutting through Lily's yard like it was her own path. She'd trample flowers, leave gates open, and once even threw a party where her friends stomped all over Lily's vegetable patch. Lily begged her to stop, but Karen smirked, saying, "You can't do anything about it." Each time, Lily's anger grew, like a seed taking root deep inside her. One night, Lily couldn't sleep. She stared out her window, watching Karen sneak into her yard again, this time with scissors, snipping Lily's roses like they were hers. That was the final straw. Lily wasn't going to cry anymore. She wasn't going to beg. She was going to fight back. The next day, Lily hatched a plan. She spent hours in her shed, gathering tools, ropes, and even her old sprinkler system. She didn't tell Annie, not her friends, not her sister. This was her battle. She set up traps in her yard, tripwires hidden in the grass, sprinklers rigged to spray at the slightest touch. She even placed a strange old music box she'd found in her attic near the roses. It played a creepy tune when opened, and Lily hoped it would scare Karen off. That night, Lily waited, her heart raced as she peeked through her curtains. Karen appeared as bold as ever, stepping right into Lily's trap. The sprinklers hissed to life, drenching Karen. She screamed, slipping in the mud, but then the music box began to hum. Its eerie tune echoed through the dark, and Karen's face turned pale. Lily watched, her breath caught in her throat. Something wasn't right. The music box wasn't supposed to glow, and it definitely wasn't supposed to move on its own. Lily's eyes widened as the hum grew louder, and a shadow shifted in the corner of her yard. What had she unleashed? The eerie hum of the music box filled Lily's backyard, its strange glow pulsing like a heartbeat in the dark. Karen stood frozen, her wet clothes clinging to her, her eyes darting toward the shadowy corner where the sound came from. Lily gripped the hose tighter, her plan to scare Karen suddenly feeling wrong. The music box wasn't just playing, it was singing, a low, creepy tune that made the air feel heavy. Karen's voice broke the silence. "What is that thing, Lily? What did you do?" she stammered, backing away. Lily didn't answer. She didn't know. The box was just supposed to spook Karen. Not glow or move! Something rustled in the bushes, and both women jumped. Was it an animal, a person, or something worse? Lily's heart raced. She wanted Karen gone, but now she wasn't sure what was in control. The day before, Lily had been so sure of her plan. After months of Karen's trespassing, she'd spent all morning preparing her backyard. She tied thin wires across the grass so Karen would trip. She'd hooked up her old sprinklers to a motion sensor, ready to soak her. The music box was a last-minute find, tucked in a dusty corner of her attic. It was old, with a carved wooden lid and a tiny key. When Lily wound it up, it played a haunting melody that gave her chills. Perfect, she thought, to scare Karen away for good. She'd placed it near her roses, hoping the creepy tune would make Karen think twice. But Karen wasn't the only problem. The neighborhood had been strange lately. Dogs howled at night for no reason. Neighbors whispered about lights flickering in empty houses. Lily ignored it, too focused on her anger. She'd even overheard Karen at the grocery store, bragging to a friend about borrowing flowers from that boring woman's yard. That made Lily's blood boil. She wasn't boring, she was patient, but her patience was gone. Back in the present, the music box's glow grew brighter, casting weird shadows on the fence. Karen stumbled over a tripwire, falling hard into the mud. "Lily, turn it off!" she yelled, her voice shaky. Lily wanted to, but her feet felt glued to the porch. The box wasn't plugged, and it shouldn't be glowing at all. She took a step forward, then stopped. Something moved again, behind the rose bushes. A chapital, thin, and wrong slipped out of sight. Lily's stomach twisted. "Karen, get out of my yard," she whispered, but her voice was lost in the music's hum. Karen scrambled to her feet, slipping again as another sprinkler sprayed her. "You're crazy," she screamed, but her eyes kept darting to the bushes. She'd seen it tooth shadow. Lily's mind raced. Was this her fault? Had the music box brought something else into her yard? She remembered her grandma's stories about the attic, warnings about old things that held secrets. Lily had laughed them off as kids' tales. Now, she wasn't so sure. Karen bolted for the gate, but it slammed shut before she could reach it. The lock clicked, though no one touched it. Lily gasped. She hadn't rigged the gate to do that. Karen pounded on it, screaming, "Let me out!" The music box's tune grew louder, faster, like a heartbeat gone wild. Lily's eyes locked on the glowing box. It was shaking now, rattling on the ground. Then, from the shadows, a cold whisper hissed, "You shouldn't have opened it." Lily's blood ran cold. Who said that? And why did it sound like it was right behind her? The whisper hung in the air like frost, chilling Lily to her bones. "You shouldn't have opened it," it hissed again, right behind her ear. Lily spun around, her hose clattering to the porch. No one was there. The backyard was a mess, mud everywhere, Karen banging on the locked gate, and the music box glowing brighter, its creepy tune now a wild, screeching wail. Karen's screams mixed with the sound, her fists pounding harder. "Lily, do something," she cried, her voice cracking with fear. Lily's heart thumped. She wanted Karen to regret trespassing, but this was too much. The shadow in the bushes moved again, taller now, its edges blurry like smoke. It wasn't human. Lily's plan had gone wrong, horribly wrong. She stepped toward the music box, desperate to shut it off, when the ground shook. A low, rumbling growl echoed, and the roses around the box wilted black. What had she brought into her yard? Earlier that day, Lily had felt so clever. She'd spent hours perfecting her traps, her anger at Karen fueling every knot and wire. The music box was her secret weapon. She'd found it in a dusty trunk in her attic, wrapped in a cloth with strange symbols. Her grandma's voice echoed in her mind. "Some things are better left alone, Lily." But she'd ignored it, thinking it was just a spooky old toy. When she turned the key, it played that eerie tune, and she grinned, imagining Karen's face. She never thought it could do this. The past week had been tense. Karen's trespassing got bolder. She'd even left a note on Lily's gate once, saying, "Nice flowers. I'll take some more tomorrow." Lily's neighbors noticed too. Old Mister Jenkins across the street warned her about Karen, saying, "She's trouble, but don't do anything rash." Lily smiled politely but didn't listen. She was done being nice. She'd spent years building her garden, and Karen treated it like dirt. The music box felt like justice. Now, justice felt like a mistake. The box's glow pulsed faster, and the air smelled like burnt leaves. Karen was sobbing now, clawing at the gate. "Lily, please, I'm sorry," she begged. Lily wanted to help, but her feet wouldn't move. The shadow slithered closer, its shape twisting, now a tall figure, now a claw-like hand. Lily's breath hitched. She remembered another story from her grandma about a box that trapped something old and angry. Had she unleashed it? Lily forced herself forward, mud squishing under her shoes. She reached for the music box, but it burned her fingers, hot as a stove. She yelped, stumbling back. The shadow left a low, crackling sound that made her skin crawl. Karen screamed louder, the gate rattling but still locked. Lily's eyes darted between the box and the shadow. She had to stop this. But how? The box was shaking so hard it cracked the ground beneath it. Then the shadow spoke again, its voice like nails on a chalkboard. "She trespassed. Now you both pay." Lily's heart stopped. The shadow wasn't after just Corinne, it wanted her too. Suddenly, the box's lid flew open, and a black mist poured out, rushing toward them both. The black mist poured from the music box, swirling like a storm of ink, wrapping around Lily and Karen. It was cold, like icy fingers squeezing their skin, and it smelled of rotting flowers. Karen's screams turned to whimpers as she sank to her knees, the mist coiling around her legs. "Lily, make it stop!" she cried, her voice barely audible over the music box's wail. Lily's heart pounded. She wanted Karen to learn a lesson. Not this nightmare. The shadow loomed closer, its form shifting into a tall, eyeless figure with a jagged smile. "Trespassers!" it hissed, its voice echoing inside Lily's skull. She stumbled back, her eyes locked on the mist. It wasn't just smoke, it was alive, pulsing with every note from the box. Suddenly, the mist tightened around Karen, lifting her slightly off the ground. Lily gasped. She had to act, but her hands shook. The shadow turned its empty gaze on her. "You woke me," it said. "Now choose, her or you." Lily's mind raced back to the moment she found the music box. She'd ignored the strange symbols on it, the way the air felt heavy when she opened it. Now, she realized it wasn't just a toy, it was a cage for something evil. Her grandma's stories flooded back. A spirit trapped long ago, angry at those who cross boundaries. Lily had thought it was just a tale, but now it was real, and it was her fault. Karen's sobs snapped Lily back to the moment. The mist was dragging her toward the music box, her feet scraping the mud. "I'm sorry, Lily. I'll never come back," Karen pleaded, her face pale. Lily's anger at Karen faded, replaced by guilt. She'd wanted revenge, but not this. She lunged for the box again, ignoring the burning pain as she grabbed it. The shadow laughed, its voice like breaking glass. "Close it, and the debt grows," it warned. Lily hesitated. What debt? What would happen if she shut the box? She looked at Karen, now half swallowed by the mist, her eyes wide with terror. Lily's trapped sprinklers, wires were useless now. The music box was the key. She remembered her grandma saying, "To stop it, you need a sacrifice." But what did that mean? Give up something precious? Or someone? Lily's hands trembled as she held the box. The mist tightened around Karen, who gasped, "Please, Lily." The shadow's smile grew wider, waiting for her choice. Lily's eyes darted to her roses, her pride and joy now black and dead. Could they be the sacrifice? Or was it something deeper her? Anger, her home, her safety? The mist surged, and Karen's scream cut off as it covered her face. Lily's breath caught. She had to decide now. With a cry, she slammed the box's lid shut. The music stopped, the mist froze, and the shadow roared, shaking the ground. Then, silence. Karen collapsed, gasping, but alive. The shadow was gone, but Lily felt a cold weight in her chest. The box was closed, but something was still watching. From inside the box, a faint tap began, growing louder, like fingernails scratching to get out.